Hey guys, back with the Echoing Thoughts podcast here, episode number 59. And we had another banger. Episode 58, we got a Thunder Breaker Quinn Chance. That was a great episode. A lot of people liked that one. So we came back, brought it back with the one and only Geminis Gaming, the Blaze Wizard, hyped. We had another great conversation. It's just a lot of fun to talk to people about their classes when they just love it so much, right? They're not playing the OP class necessarily. They're not playing the classes just because it's, really strong, or they keep re-rolling back and forth. Just like Quinn Chance last week, Geminis is like a veteran of his class, the Blaze Wizard. So he had just insane nuggets, insane just little insights about the gameplay of Blaze Wizards, how it's changed, how it's improved, how strong it is. He talks about how it compares to like what tier he has it overall in the game, how he compares it to how he ranks it with the other mages, how he compares it to he ranks the Cygnus Knights overall from 1 to 5, where he ranks the Blaze Wizards. Just insane conversation, just chatting. The last time I talked to him was early 2023, and we thought that we were going to have another conversation. We talked about it coming back when Cygnus Knights Remaster came out. We thought it was going to be end of 2023, and here we are, February 2024, probably like 8-9 months later, 10 months later, finally doing it again. So we had a great time. We're always chatting anyways. I follow his stream, watch his stream. He does a great stuff over there, and he's congrats to him for being sponsored by Nexon. So yeah, he's just the best, and you just see the smile on his face when he talks about it, how hyped he is for the class, and just all the changes, all the improvements. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. We got a long podcast, a great conversation. His Geminis Gaming. If you don't subscribe to him, you definitely should. If you subscribe to me, you definitely probably are subscribed to him. But yeah, he's got a lot of great stuff, free to play series. He's got Mage stuff. He streams on YouTube. I'll post everything in the description down below. You got to check him out. You got to show support and love for him. He's just the best. But yeah, we'll get into it. Here's a conversation that we had. It was epic. All right, we're back. Second guest. I got um, I got Geminis here, Geminis Gaming, the OG Blaze Wizard. Just I don't know if you guys can see him, just the way the Zoom recording is until he speaks, but he's all smiles, all happy. Um, this is recording this Saturday, February 17th for me. This is Sunday morning for him, February 18th. But about a week and a half after Cygnus Knights Remaster, last week or earlier this week, I talked to Thunderbreaker Quinn Chance from Enosis NA, and now I got Geminis. So first of all, I just want to thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for chatting. Uh, thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
having you.
glad to be here, dude. Glad to be here. I mean, I'm very happy, very satisfied with how the patch went. Like actually, because most of the Blaze Wizard in the community are like, most of them have left, or either like we don't have that high of an expectation for the class, and like we were baffled.
Yeah. So let's talk about it, right? I kind of just want to give you the floor. I know there's a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack, but kind of just what is your like initial thoughts? What is the thing you're the most happy about? Kind of just the first thing that comes to mind after kind of 2 weeks maybe of testing and just playing.
I mean, really, it's just the new look, man. Really, for me, the damage good, right? But the looks, man, it looks so cool.
Yeah.
Everything is just exploding left and right. You're throwing fireballs everywhere. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I was telling you right before this that we were, I only have a 175 Blaze was, just the like I think Cataclysm just looks like epic, right? Just everything just looks cleaner. Just the animations for graphics for fire. It just kind of stands out. Um, what is I'm curious what your favorite skill is, like that got changed or that just looks the best.
Oh man. It's gotta be the Phoenix dive, man. It's the 150, the burst. Oh my god,
Oh yeah,
if you see the like the fireballs, man, holy,
yeah,
that thing is amazing.
yeah. Oh yeah, I like that. So let's talk about that. What I guess we'll kind of start from the beginning. You know, the main thing or one of the main things is skill revamps, right? What has changed gameplay wise um, for the Blaze Wizards, and what is the main skills that kind of were remastered?
I mean, there were a few changes for sure for Blaze Wizard. There is the new DPS mode and the mobbing mode. There is the Lion, which is the mobbing mode where you throw your fireballs and it comes back. And then there's also the Fox mode where you just throw the fireball and doesn't come back now. And this is very nice too because there used to be I think in SC where we're trying to do like full DPS and then we go into the right corner and then we try to throw our fireballs and then sometimes on the way back the fireball will miss. And this is just very good quality of life change. So like all the lines are hitting pretty good. There's also they removed ignition, which is our DOT lines,
Mm-hmm.
which takes like one line every like 1 second. Now they made it so that every time you do damage, you do 3 lines extra, and I think you do 4 after the hyperstats upgrade, and then the cooldown is at like 1.5 seconds, so you can just whenever you spam, you're not gonna see it, but there's extra lines in there,
Mm.
and it's a lot more than the old ignition, which a lot of people thought was like the main
Was
selling point of Blaze Wizard, but
yeah.
now this is actually a lot better.
So these are just like passive lines, like they're or they're just are they like would you consider them clone like more like clone lines or more like just kind of like passive like
I was saying more like an ADI line,
ADI
like the
lines?
hyperstats.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's like there's a fixed cooldown, like the ADI lines, and the
Mm.
skill damage is pretty high. I think it's around. Actually, it's not that high anymore, but it's 150. But it's a second job skill, so your nodes will
I
boost it
see.
up a lot more.
Like
Yeah,
120% probably, or like
yeah, very
yeah.
high.
Oh wow. Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay.
Yep.
So that's kind of the gameplay has changed. So what is the type of class like I know I mean I've watched your stream a lot, right? You've talked about how, you know, your V I think your V3 is the one that's the big burst, right? Let's
Yep.
talk I want to talk
Yep.
about how Blaze Wizard has it changed where there's more burst? Is it more consistent or is it just overall like 30-second fights, 60-second fights, like 3-minute fights? How do they compare now versus before?
I mean, now there is the Phoenix dive, so it's like a 10-second burst. It's pretty much a buff, and you do more lines, but it's very easy to like not get the full usage of it because
Mhm.
sometimes bosses move around or it doesn't, and sometimes you need to jump and that's already like what 16 line like gone
Yeah.
just because you can't throw a fireball. And yeah, but I mean the gameplay mostly, how should I say this? It is a lot more like burst, but it, how should I say it? Like the burst is pretty good. Like the burst is higher, of course, but
Mhm.
it's still not like the 1 minute content. It's not. I wouldn't say it's not the best.
Yeah.
Like I think I did GHB and I did around 490, 490. I'm not sure if it's B or M, but yeah, I did like 490, and then think I got beaten by an arc. I already gotten beaten by a paladin. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's still not the best, but
Yeah.
it's a big improvement. I think I went from 450 to 490. So it's still a lot better in that small window.
Yeah.
And overall, the damage just, like even in 3 minute battle fight, it went up by around 20%, which is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I think hearing from a lot of the classes, it feels like 20-25% um, is kind of where they've been at. What is your cap at right now?
31.5.
Okay, so 31.5, and you're doing like almost 500 multi guild honor battle,
Yep.
and guild dungeon. What is that looking like?
I think I score like 1.5 B now, I think.
Hmm.
Pretty nice. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, that's
I
really good.
think before the patch was like 1.3.
Yeah,
It went to 1.5. I mean,
that's huge.
yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's big boss. I mean, before the skill, the one that got reworked, the Phoenix dive, it was the Dragon Familiar.
Yeah.
it was a lot easier to use, I have to say, but just the line wasn't there. So like
Yeah.
technically, if they buffed the line on that skill, it would be easier to use compared to the new burst.
Yeah. And then the Phoenix Dive is kind of just surrounds around your main orbitals, right? Too, right? So it kind of doesn't change
Yep,
anything. It's not extra skill or anything.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
But as the description for Phoenix Dive is just that what you summon one orbit, it summons four.
Hmm.
That's how they describe it, and
Yeah.
you just gotta multiply the number by yourself.
Yeah. 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 That skill is pretty nice. Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine what like the fifth job is like with all those other skills that you got. So um I know you've been bossing, right? Damien and then Lotus. What like do you see the same sort of increase, like 20%, like in real life bossing? How does the gameplay translate? How is it easy to replicate um in bossing?
For Damien, I think the first run right after the patch, I did it on stream, and I think I missed all my V3,
Yeah.
and I still somehow PB'd, even though I got Orb aggro like more frequently than my PB before. Because I think there was one run where I only got Orb aggro twice in the whole run. And I
Yeah.
did 50B DPM, and that was like the best I could do.
Yeah.
And then, after the patch, I missed like 3v3s, and then I missed like one Phoenix dive, and I'm still doing the same as my PB back then.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
getting like 10 orb aggros. And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, the increase is there. You can see it for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, I missed a lot of bursts, and I'm still missing a lot of bursts because
Yeah.
it's pretty hard to utilize them in Damien, I would say, especially in Damien where you don't know when you're getting the orb aggro, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you use your high cooldown skills, and you gotta move left, you
Yeah.
you can't really utilize the skill, and you gotta sacrifice because the team does more damage than you, pretty much.
Yeah. So
But yeah.
what so for those people that are kind of newer to Blaze Wizard, or kind of interested in Blaze Wizard, kind of try to explain the mechanics of your burst, right? You talked about Phoenix Dive is what's like 10 seconds every, I think it's a 60-second cooldown, right? So you
Yep,
have that
yep, yep.
those four extra lines. What about your V3? What is the cooldown and like duration like that for that? And your other burst skills, whatever you have.
The V3, the cooldown is at 3 minutes, and the burst is like for around 6 seconds
Oh
to
wow.
like utilize the whole thing. So
Wow.
it's pretty much you can move left and right when you use it, but you can't double jump or that
Hmm.
kind of stuff. You can still move around, and you can also use it while you're floating, which is I don't know why, but it's there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
But and then we have the our V2 where the cooldown is I think 10 seconds, and the duration for it is 8 seconds. But like it's just a bunch of balls going around and then just smacking the boss. But
Hmm.
it does a lot of lines. I think it does like I think it's one of our main skill now. It's actually doing more lines than our normal orbit skill, which I was surprised when I tested.
Hmm.
And also we got the V1 where you just chuck the ball and hope that it hits. Mostly
Yeah.
at this point, like it's very hard to control that
Yeah.
thing, and you'd rather just use it whenever it's off cooldown. It's like
Oh.
I think it was 8 second cooldown where you just chuck a big ball of fire into the enemy,
So it's kind of
and
like
it
just part of the
hits.
preset,
Yeah, pretty much. You
pretty
just
much.
mash the preset button.
Yeah.
It's a very, very mashy type of class where
Mhm.
you gotta, spam that thing. If not, you're just gonna lose lines.
Yeah. So your V3, you said how many lines was that again?
Like 1,200 something. It's
Oh,
very, very high in like six
yeah.
seconds. It's
Yeah.
I think it's the best V3 in the game, like
Yeah.
burst wise, I
Yeah.
think.
I think it's very similar to the Paladin's Cross, where it's like 3 minutes cooldown. It's like a 6 second hold set hold. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's all cap lines, right? There's no clones,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. No, it's all cap lines.
So it's kind of similar to probably like DK's one, right?
Yeah.
Like the lines counts, and then or like
Yep. Yep.
Shadowers too, I think is kind of similar. Um, yeah. Dang, that's nice. Like, yeah, if you miss
Yeah, yeah.
that, it's like that's all your DPS, right?
Yeah,
That's
and,
like,
and, and yeah, and as I told you, like my Damien run, I missed
yeah,
all of them in the state into second phase, and
yeah,
yeah, it feels like like when you're in the run, like you gotta move, but sometimes you just want to do the damage,
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, oh
Oh my
yeah.
god.
I know, especially when you're like, it's always funny, like when there's new rebalances and stuff. Everyone just wants to PR, right? Everyone wants
Yeah,
to just like, um, just kind of min max everything. And so mechanics
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, rightfully so, right? It kind of mechanics go a little bit out the window. People play a little bit more aggro, and so it's yeah. And then it's always funny when, um, when you do that, your DPS is still good, but then you do it, a few runs later, kind of Damien and Lotus, where RNG plays a big factor, right? With the
Yeah.
orbs and like purple immunity phases in Lotus,
Yep.
where you need it takes a couple runs, couple weeks, maybe even more, just to see the full potential,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So you've done one Damien and one Lotus run since?
I think I did. No, I think I did two Damien and two Lotus because I did
Yeah.
Lotus yesterday.
Hmm.
Because actually it was my alt team, and I kind of had to put my main in
You have to
because a lot
carry.
of people were missing.
Yeah,
So like I had to carry my main.
yeah.
It was funny, but I did get to test a lot of stuff out. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Lotus run, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Flash Fire got pretty much buffed, the one where you teleport back to where you put the altar at.
Mm.
The cooldown used to be 5 seconds, but now it is only 1.5 seconds.
Oh wow.
So technically, you could just stay at the bottom and just teleport to the other side of the laser and back.
Yep.
The only time where you need to use the portal is when the laser switch sides, and
Yep.
and then you
Change
can rinse and
directions.
repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
on the other side.
Oh
But now, yeah, my stage one, I mean my phase one, like DPS was insane.
yeah.
It's insane.
What were you doing? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Not really. I don't.
Yeah,
I mean, I
but
could
like the
open it
PR,
now and
like the
check,
PR,
but
like I mean, you probably PR'd like you could probably carried. What was your Lotus? Do you remember what your Lotus overall score was?
ah, I don't think my DPM was high. I mean,
Mm.
yesterday was
Yeah, you were
we
carrying.
we run we were running like 9 people, and it wasn't
Yeah,
the best run.
yeah.
My all team is mostly most people are like 16, 17 M cap, so it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that high.
yeah.
So like, there was a lot of purple orb phase, and then
Mm,
a lot of teleporting going on, a lot
yeah,
of dying going on.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't think it was a PR, but you could just tell, like there was another ice sliding mage that was 20 M cap in the team, and
Yeah.
I think I was doing like 20% or 30% more damage than him,
Oh wow. Yeah.
and that is including the bots. So
Hmm.
the bot clearance, I feel like gotten better actually.
Yeah. Nice.
Just yeah,
Yeah. So you talked about burst, right? You talked about the damage. You just mentioned mobility, right?
yep,
Like that's a huge thing in Lotus.
yep,
Just maybe even in Damien, you kind of probably can utilize that a little better too if you
yeah,
want to put for orb control, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I,
so
I
what else type of utility has there any type other utility, survivability stuff that's changed for Blaze Wizards?
yeah, actually, what's it called? The shield we used to have, it used to reduce the damage, like scale damage.
Hmm.
It's like it doesn't really help usually because it doesn't absorb that much damage,
Yeah.
but like now it does. I think it's a 15-second hero's will now.
Oh wow.
They reworked it from a shield into a 15 seconds hero's will, so like when you're using your V3, because
Mm.
usually if you're using a V3 and you get knocked back, it's over, it's gone.
Yeah.
But now with that, you could technically, save the shield and use it whenever you want to burst, so you don't get knocked
Mm.
back.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Nice little gameplay change there. Kind of
Yep.
min-max and stuff. What is it? So it's 15 seconds like is it a 60-second cooldown? Do you remember?
Actually, I could check now. I mean,
Nah, yeah. Oh, if you have time. Yeah, but that's
yeah,
cool.
it's on 120-second cooldown.
Mm, okay. Yeah, I think that's probably similar to Heroes Will.
Yep,
Maybe Heroes. Yeah. Nice.
pretty nice. And also, as you mentioned, the teleport skill, I
Hmm.
use it in Damien too. I mean, very nice for the orb because
Yeah.
you can just whenever you have orb aggro, just teleport straight to the left, and then the
Wow.
orb doesn't move at all.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
you just put the teleport on the left side.
So
Pretty good.
it's got a full map range, teleport range,
Yep.
or oh
Yep.
wow.
You can just use it, and then whenever you get the orb aggro, just press it, and you're just gone
Oh
to
wow.
that spot. Yeah.
That's nice. That's super. Wow,
Yeah.
that's insane actually. Jeez.
Yeah.
Does
And yeah.
continue?
Yeah, the duration used to be also 60 seconds. So sometime in Damien, when you don't get aggro, this thing expires. But
Mhm.
now they buffed it to a 90 seconds.
Oh,
So
nice.
that does play a pretty,
Yeah.
it's, you can just leave it there and forget about it.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
there's 90 seconds. I mean,
Yeah. It's always
yeah,
funny those little like those little changes that kind of go overlooked. They're not damage stuff, skill percent or lines, and it always like just makes the gameplay a little bit smoother. Quality of life, like you said, just makes everything feel better, and like things that you don't even think about or ask for those things are always a little nice, right?
yep, yep.
Yeah. Oh man. So
Also,
yep.
utility wise, as you asked, like survivability or not, it's just utility. You now have a stun at level 60,
Oh
which is
really?
pretty good. Yeah,
Oh
you have a
wow.
stun now. The animation is very fast. Also, you press it, it's stunned. It's like it's not like the hard stun to use.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
pretty easy one to use.
yeah.
You just gotta the boss just has to be in front of you, and you just use it, and it stuns
Oh wow.
straight away. Yep.
Oh wow. That actually helps, a lot. Things like Mulong, maybe, right? Maybe even
The
like,
best the best for me was Kia's Hila, man.
oh yeah, yeah.
It feels so
The
good to
DR.
stun that thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
No. Oh wow. Dude, man, that's awesome. That's why I'm happy to do this stuff. I'm glad that you came on and other people come on and talk about their classics. 'Cause I feel like I've got such good like feedback about the Thunderbreaker when he came on. Um, just learning about the classes and you obviously um, all these little uh, nuances to the class that are pretty sweet, right? That maybe even Blaze Wizards don't even know about other Blaze Wizard mains.
Yep.
I played it. I've got to 175 and I didn't even know there's a stun. So that's pretty cool, man. I mean, stuns go a long way in a
Yeah.
lot of different content. What is let's talk about the other content like Culvert, Mulong. Have you noticed any big changes there?
Um, very big.
Yeah.
Very big. Uh, the skill damage for the class a lot easier to cap.
Oh,
It just feels a lot easier to cap. Like I think right now I think I just eat what is it, the squid buff and the chicken buff,
yeah.
and that is enough for me to cap every line except
Jeez.
for ADI.
Oh wow.
And that does go a long way in Mulong. I
Mm-hmm.
saw a pretty big improvement in my Mulong. It went from, I think, best I did was like around 4 minutes to around 3.5 minutes.
Wow.
No, actually, 2 minutes and 40 seconds I did last week.
Jeez.
I was surprised.
This was this full buffed or was this just any sort of buffs?
No, this is full buff.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was after my Davian run. I just went for it.
Jeez.
My gosh, you should have saw my reaction on stream. It was so funny.
Oh,
I was like, usually I'm doing 4 minute plus, and I'm like,
yeah.
because like, and like Blaze Visa don't usually finish till 45. Because in my
Yeah.
server, I'm the only one doing it. Nobody else is doing it.
Yeah.
So like, I don't really usually care about the time.
Yeah.
But then after hitting it, and then I get 240, I'm like, huh? you know, it
Yeah.
was pretty surprising.
Yeah.
But like, I think it could be a lot faster because I didn't sync my skill with DS4.
Mm,
So technically, it could be a lot faster.
right, right. Yeah. Oh man.
And
Not just
yeah,
another thing to play with, right? Just another thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, the classes feels a lot easier to cap too, just because of how they buff the numbers in the passive.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Oh,
of
okay.
little buffs, very nice. Also, the party buff that we have
Hmm.
is the one where you put on the ground.
Yeah, the final damage one, right?
Yeah, no,
Or is it
it used to be magic damage and
mhm,
magic attack and
okay.
physical attack and physical
Physical
damage.
damage? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 20% magic attack, and then it's like what 5% magic damage.
Yeah.
Now it's pure 25 magic damage and
Oh wow.
25% physical damage.
Ooh.
Very good party buff.
Jeez. Is that what is the cooldown and the duration for that?
It has 100% uptime.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Jeez. So for like Damien and stuff, you're just standing in the corner and just that's just a beautiful
Yeah.
25%. Oh man.
Yeah. And it gives I think they made it so that everyone in the whole map gets it. I think it was a change like 2 years ago. It was a very long time ago, but some people still don't know this. But the
Mhm.
buff goes to everyone, not like everywhere, not just in the circle.
Yeah. Oh
Because it
wow.
used to be just in the circle, but
Yeah.
now everyone in the whole map gets it. So
Jeez.
yeah.
Oh man. Someone a Blaze Wizard just uh DM me today for a Damien team, a normal Damien team. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that. I totally forgot about that party buff. I was just thinking, oh, I mean, they're OP, right? They got good lines, they got good damage now, but that party
Yeah,
buff
yeah.
Jeez, 25%. That's huge.
Yeah,
That's real
that's
nice.
huge.
Oh man, we need to get more Blaze Wizards over here and just kind of as
Yeah,
a Blaze Wizard mule or something, just to help boost up some PRs. That'd be insane.
yeah, the buff is insane. Because at first I was like, nothing changed, and then I went to make like the before and after video for my channel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
My gosh, I saw a lot of changes, and I was like, I did not expect that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, man, that's nice. Yeah, those are underrated stuff for like Culvert and Wulong and party buffs.
yeah.
Man,
That I mean, we could talk a little bit about Culvert actually. I
yeah,
mean, now that you ask, I PR'd by a lot last time I tried.
yeah.
I went from 14K to 17.5K.
What? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. Oh my gosh.
and
Is that
and that is without swapping.
no way? Wait, what? How's that possible?
The the DS4 duration
Yeah.
fully syncs with Phoenix Dive and V2.
Mm,
If you get the timing right, it syncs all the time.
dang.
And then you can sync your V3 into also near the end.
Mhm.
It's insane. Like if
That's
you get the
insane.
timing right, it's 17K plus all the time.
Jeez. Wow. Wow,
And that
that's
was without boss rush.
yeah, that's absurd. That's all the skill percent stuff, right? Like just the added skill
Yeah.
percent because you probably weren't capping a lot of those lines in Culvert. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my Pally with swap, I've never gotten 17. So
Wow.
that's absurd. Wow, look at that smile on
Woo!
your face. Dang.
Woo!
Flexing.
Actually, like
Hey,
the covert in my server, I feel like in my server it's a lot more competitive compared to other servers.
yeah.
Because like I think we have how much left? 1 week left, right? I think
Mhm.
in the season. And the top guild is like 1.5 million right now. And usually they end at like 2.3,
Oh wow.
I think. I
Jeez.
don't quote me on that. I don't have the screenshots. But it's very high in my server compared to like other servers because people are actually there's competition and competition
Yeah.
makes it so that people want to
Yeah.
improve.
So are you saying you're not even top 10 in your server at 17 or you are?
No, I mean personal, I'm not even top 20.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like
Jeez.
I'm like top 30, I think. There's a lot of stronger people in the server.
Even 17, if you're doing 17 every week.
17 every week, I would still be around very close to top 20, but not yet. Because there's a
Jeez.
lot of people that are 42M, 45M
Yeah.
cap, it's insane.
Yeah, I think we have like so I'm 10, 11 right now at like 15, 16. So we have yeah, we don't have that many about 40 plus. Um yeah, that's insane. Yeah, we have like the big, Truffle Locks, Ed, Exogen, Sammy, the Lumi, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe a few Phantoms that are pretty OP, but dang, that's crazy. It's always cool to see like Covert, just like what it's like, hear what it's like across servers and stuff.
Yeah.
And man, the fact that I'm hearing a Blaze Wizard at 17 plus, at like less cap than me as a paladin, and
It's weird, I'm telling you.
not swapping. Wow. Dang. So
Um,
let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about like where I know you've talked about it in your stream, but I want to hear, what where you put Blaze Wizards, I guess what they were before. I remember you did your
yep,
tiers list, but just
yep.
reiterate that and then what you think they are now. Um, yeah.
Now, I mean, I would say it really depends. If you're super late game, I still feel like the class is if like what 40 M cap, I would say the class is like A or S tier.
Mhm.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Because like I see that a lot of classes that are in A tier are struggling to cap when they have like 40 M cap. It's pretty
Yeah.
hard to cap, but Blaze Wizard, you're not gonna have a problem. You're
Yeah.
gonna cap every line if you buff.
Yeah.
So like if it's like 40 plus M cap, I would say that the class might be S tier. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no denying that the line is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing the class lacks now, I think, is survivability mostly. There was a little change that they made for Blaze Wizard where you consume 20% more MP now.
Hmm.
It was a random passive, and at first I thought it was gonna be big, but when I played it myself, I mean, maybe it's because my gear is pretty good and I don't run out of MP often.
Mm-hmm.
But I have heard some Blaze Wizard also complaining that they are running out of MP.
Yeah. Hmm.
Which I mean, like,
Yeah.
mid game, I would say Blaze Wizard still pretty good. You're gonna cap, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you can work on your gear. You don't really need to work on your weapon. Your weapon can be like Necro 40 and you're still gonna cap. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like the class pretty balanced right now and
Yeah.
balanced to OP right now. I mean, in between there, it's like
Yeah.
A or S tier. That's
Yeah.
where I put the Blaze Wizard right now, really.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're right. Kind of like you talked about the skill percentages. That's always something that's big for like the middle to lower tier players, right? For people that are
Yeah.
trying to like that are hearing this and like, dang, Blaze Wizards are OP. Um, it translates right to free to play or
Yeah.
less gear, which is always nice, which is always something that doesn't always happen for the best classes, like you said. And so that's great to hear. Is it
Yeah. I mean,
so would you argue that as far as mages, like if someone to choose a mage,
haha.
easily top three, probably, right? Would you say they're better than Loomies or no, not yet?
No, not yet.
Uh,
Lumi's are
yeah,
on a different level, I have to
yeah,
say.
yeah. But you would say Blaze Wizards are probably right there behind them with Evan,
Yeah, right.
or C, I guess maybe Sia is probably up there too, right?
In bossing, I would say that we're better than Evan.
Yeah,
But in like 1 minute content, we still can't really fight them as
really.
their burst and like in
Burst.
between that 1 minute is really good for Evan.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, but I think I did match GHB Evan. Like he was like 26 M cap and we did like the same number. So it was
Yeah.
like, Evans are still pretty good in that 1 minute content period. But
Yeah.
in longer boss fight, I feel like, Blaze Wizard might be better,
Yeah.
because I would say that Evan, it is a lot easier to execute compared to Blaze Wizard.
Really.
Because now I used to play in Evan, right? And I
Right.
felt like now like your like the V2 for Evan, for example, you just place it down, right? Your character can be anywhere.
Yeah.
But whenever you pop your hyper, the Phoenix dive on Blaze Wizard, you've got to think like, what skill is the boss going to use? Is it going to kill you? If it's not, can you tank it?
Yeah.
It's like those kinds of little things where you have to micromanage.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more of that now because I haven't explained this yet, but the skill rotation for Blaze Wizard, really, you start at the start, you want to pop your V2, like the balls go around 10-second
Mm-hmm.
cooldown. Then after that, you want to use your main preset like 4 times so that it cycles through the whole preset.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, you would want to use your V3, hold it down for 6 seconds, burst, and then after that, you would go back to your main preset until the V1 comes back up again in the preset.
Mm-hmm.
Then you use your V2 again so that your V2 comes on cooldown. Then you use the Phoenix dive.
Oh wow. Yeah, I was gonna ask you Phoenix Dive. Huh. So that's probably like you could almost say Phoenix Dive is not even that first like rotation of DS4 then. Would you
Yeah.
say that? Yeah.
I mean, if you execute it fast enough,
Yeah, you may.
it's like the back end of the Phoenix dive still won't be in DS4.
Huh.
Because you're like I said, V2 does more damage if you
Yeah.
pop it frequently.
Yeah.
Because it's only 10-second cooldown.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't pop Phoenix dive before using V2 just because the V2 animation is a lot longer.
Mm.
So like you're losing time on
Yeah.
that buff where you can shoot the big, the burst of orbit flames. And
Yeah.
so like you gotta pop your V2 right like anytime you want to use Phoenix dive, you gotta pop your V2 before that.
Before.
So every time you gotta wait for the cycle to come back up, it's a lot of little stuff like
Micromanaging.
micromanage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're trying to sync it up to DS4 and sometimes,
Yeah.
you mess up,
Right.
It's
Right.
yeah. That's why I'm saying that it's harder to execute on Blaze Wizard as Evans.
Yeah.
You just use your stuff when DS4 comes out. Like how hard can it be? Like
Yeah.
it's hard, but it's not that hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna diss the Evan players, but I
Yeah.
feel like this feels harder, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting, right? You kind of talked about how you basically, so the way I understand it, is you kind of need to get two V2s in before you, and after that second V2, then you use Phoenix Dive, right?
Yep,
Because you don't want your V2 to be up while your Phoenix Dive is active,
yep,
right? Because
yep,
that's like your burst, huh?
yeah,
Dang, that's like a interesting. It's like a 20-second, maybe 15 to 20 second window of DPS that you kind of have to like really try to maximize
yep,
with
yep,
bosses moving, knowing boss mechanics. Obviously trying
yeah,
to max with like DS4 or split or stuns or whatever it is, huh? That's pretty
yeah.
cool. But like if you do it well, right, it's obviously rewarding.
Very, yeah,
But
rewarding.
if you mess it up once, or it really kind of hinders your
Yeah,
lines,
you
right?
go like you go from 18K lines to like 16K.
Yeah.
It's just like that. It's gone. Because
Yeah.
like for example, right? There's this like habit I have where I mess up the most is that I like the first few cycles I'm fine where you pop the V2 right after your V3 ends
Hmm.
before you pop the Phoenix Dive. After like V2 and then Phoenix Dive. And then you gotta use your full Phoenix Dive duration before you can use your V2 again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And your
Right.
V2 usually comes up 2 seconds before your dive finishes.
Hmm.
So sometimes I pop the V2 too early before the Phoenix Dive
Phoenix Step
ends. And
ends. Yeah.
that, yeah, and then just like 400 lines just gone right there.
Hmm.
Because it takes like a second to cast the V2.
Jeez. So what is in your preset? You said you have 4 skills, right?
Yep.
Um, Talk about that. I guess I'm curious about what is in the rotation.
The rotation I have right now is, the normal orbit flames, the one
Mhm.
where you just throw your fireball. I have
Yep.
my V1, the bigger fireball.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the blazing extinction, which is the ball that floats and
Yep.
it hits around the like everywhere.
Hmm.
And I have the Tower Inferno, I think it's called. Yeah, Tower Inferno for the
Mm.
Fox mode. Technically, you could use that outside the preset, but it's too much to micromanage at this point. I would
It
say
is Tower
because
Inferno the one that it's on the ground or
yeah,
no?
yeah, on the ground and it comes up, but then in DPS mode it just shoots in the front.
Oh, a DPS mode. Oh my gosh. Oh shoot. I gotta look at that. Okay. I
There's the
see.
Fox mode, which is the DPS mode. So like
Mm.
the Tower Inferno just shoots to the front, and there's this cool mechanic with it where if you hit a boss with orbit, I think 5 times, they get a 10%. Like what's it called? Like you get a 10% final damage buff when you're hitting that boss,
Oh well.
which is like a debuff. And also the Tower Inferno goes from 14 lines to 50 lines.
50.
Yep.
Huh.
So that's
What is Tower Inferno's cooldown?
15 seconds.
15 seconds. And then the extinction is like 8 seconds or something, right? It's pretty short.
Yeah. Yep.
Dang.
Yep.
So dang. And this has
So
been pretty consistent, or all these cooldowns, have these cooldowns been changed from remaster?
Blazing Extinction is the same. Power Inferno went from 30 seconds to 15 seconds,
Mm.
which is big.
And you said the mechanic changed, or was it always Fox and Lion?
Mm,
That's new, right?
yeah, okay, before there used to be a fox and a lion,
Mhm.
but the only thing it affects is your V2, where you use the
Oh, I see. I
how's
see.
it
Sorry.
called? The AoE skill, and one of them is the ball skill.
Gotcha.
But mostly you would want to be on the ball skill.
Okay. So
Yeah, I mean,
is this this Fox and Lion something that comes up only once you hit 5th job, or is that
uh,
a
fourth job,
4th job? I gotta
yeah,
go look
level
at it.
100.
I'm gonna go play around with it after this. Man,
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like, I mean, it's nice, but it's also kind of overwhelming. It sounds like where everything is such a short cooldown,
yeah,
right? Like everything you have to, I mean, you can put in your preset, which I'm sure is what you do, like you said, but
yeah,
then there's also like sometimes you don't want to use it in your preset, or sometimes you say you mess it up, right? Use your V2 kind of earlier than you want to use your
yeah.
Phoenix dive.
Because
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, because like for example, some people I saw replace the Tower Inferno with the V2 so that they utilize like every time it's off cooldown, they use it, they
Yeah,
use
yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
But here I don't like how that works because sometimes you overlap cooldowns, and also it's like how's the mobility for it, it's how should I say? When you cast it, there's like a little animation that you do, and like you can't really move in that animation.
Hmm.
It's like around a second and a half. It's not big, but like it's noticeable.
Yeah, it gets a
Like
little
for example,
clunky,
in
right?
Lotus,
Is that what
yeah,
you're saying?
yeah, it's very clunky. So
Hmm.
like you will want to cast it when you're safe, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
And
I see.
the like whenever they replace the preset with that, I mean they could manage their Tower Inferno cooldown better. So it's only for the first Tower Inferno that they get to utilize this, like, you know, if it's on another wheel, like I mean like on another slot on your wheel,
Yeah, yeah.
where you get the full debuff first before you use it.
Hmm.
Because if you don't get the full 5 debuff, it only does 14 lines.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the problem
I see.
is after that first usage, it's the same as putting it in your preset anyways.
Yeah.
So like
Huh.
you're trading DPS for like sometimes it's not even 4 because like it depends on if you cycle your skills properly in the preset.
Hmm.
So like
Yeah.
I find it a lot harder to cycle your V2 in that main preset and like the main button when you spam compared to having it like on the side where you can just look at the cooldown and then
Yeah.
use it whenever you have to
Yeah. Huh.
and syncing it with DS4.
Yeah, right, right, right. And everything that's going on with the boss and stuff. Dang,
Yeah.
that's I mean, I'm sure for a lot of people that sounds very, very overwhelming, but I'm sure for you, it's kind of like, it's kind of fun, right? It's like, testing new stuff and there's a
Yeah.
skill level to it. It's not, you say it's button mashing, but it's really much more than that with all the
Yeah.
micromanaging and things like that. So yeah, I think for me and you, that sounds like I'm getting excited just thinking about it. Like how
It's
cool
fun.
that, right? Like, I mean, for a
Mm,
mobile game, right? That's pretty cool how there's just layers, not even just with the class, but between players' preferences who play the class. Like you saying
yeah.
a Blaze Wizard chooses a preset differently. I was playing a knight, a few Night Lords, or talking to a few Night Lords that have different presets as well. And that's just so fascinating as I talk to more players that it seems more common than I think. Because for paladins, where we're like one button, we're literally one button, and for our preset,
Blast.
yeah, just blast, right? So, like when I get to talk to other people, it's crazy how when they get more V skills, V1, V2, V3, the
Yeah.
gameplay changes, right? Presets change. You have to do things differently, and that's what kind of wants me to talk about V4, right? I know you said V4. I think Blaze Wizard is insane, right?
It's in the middle of the pack.
Oh, okay.
The line count.
Your
I think it
V3, I
does like
remember your V3 was insane. That's the one
yeah,
you were talking
the
about.
V3 is insane. Yep.
And then V4. Is V4, so let's talk about V4. Is it a passive? Is it active? What do you know about it?
It's an active. It's kind it's like a giant fireball that locks to a target and then it bounces around. It does like I think it lasts for like a minute.
Oh
It's
wow.
very long. But like the total amount of line in that minute is like around 600 lines
Oh, okay.
from what I saw from KMSM. But it's a skill where you just chuck it out there and hope for the
Yeah.
best
Yeah.
usually. And pretty much it's another cooldown for us to manage.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's what I was wondering. Like just adding another, skill to the rotation. But it feels like, longer cooldown, or
Yeah,
you
longer
don't have to
cooldown.
press it as much, kind of set it and forget it. And that's yeah,
That's nice.
that's that's
Oh
nice.
man, too many
That's
cooldowns already.
so many.
Yeah,
Yeah. So is
but yeah,
yeah, go for it.
I mean, there was this little thing I want to talk about. I mean, for Blaze Wizard, for because whenever you talk to a lot of Blaze Wizard, a lot of our opinions are not the same. Because,
Hmm.
from example, I do most of my bosses on an emulator.
Right.
Like you saw in my stream, I use an emulator just so that my phone doesn't get too hot.
Yep.
But you know, there is actually an advantage in using emulators because in phones you can't mash as fast as on your keyboard. I mean,
Right. Yeah. It's just
and
yeah.
and from what I've tested, my best on a phone, like doing lines in 3 minutes, it's only 16.5K.
Oh wow. Dang.
But when I do it on an emulator, my best was
Jeez.
18.1. So like
Jeez. Ten
that,
percent. Yeah.
I mean, like I kind of don't like that about the game because it's actually a
Mm,
mobile game, right? But
yeah.
you know, it's just how the mechanic of the class works, where you have to like mash your buttons. Because like you gotta think like when you're mashing your main button and then you wanna mash your your V2, you gotta move your finger
Right. Your
to move
thumb,
it.
right? Or whatever.
Yeah, your thumb. Yeah,
Yeah.
your finger.
Yeah.
And on a keyboard, you put your main button is C, for example, and then
Yeah.
when you want to use the other skill, just use your middle finger, press
Yeah.
D. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's no travel time,
Wow.
and that travel time costs us 1.5k lines. I
It's
mean,
crazy. Yeah.
it's crazy, really,
Yeah.
because the cooldowns are so short that
Mm-hmm.
you gotta micromanage,
Mm-hmm.
and when you can't manage it properly, like on the phone, it's you lose damage. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty
Yeah.
sad actually, but
Yeah.
last time I tried playing on an iPad and I had to like butterfly click the main button and then use the other hand. Like I can't move my character. I have to use the other hand to press my V2. And I still did like the same as what I did on my emulator, which is
Yeah.
insane.
That's crazy. Yeah. I know that. I mean, the obvious one is like Blaster, right? Up Blaster, classic classes, and
Yeah.
right. Like, and that was back in the day. Now it's even worse. But yeah, it just seems like with the more skills we get, right, the more skill cap matters, and obviously devices matter. And it is a blessing and a curse, right? Like
Yeah.
having all these skills to micromanage, right, kind of is the fun part of the game. But when you hear stories like it's affecting like 10% of your damage, right? Just like standing there doing rotation, you're gonna do like 1.5k less lines or whatever.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate for sure. That's a great point. Yeah, and that's man,
I
that
mean,
that is yeah.
gotta ask for them for the PC client, man. Come on.
Right,
I
right.
know they
Yeah.
have it. I
They,
mean,
oh
they've
yeah.
got to release it.
That would be
Oh, yeah. I
if
mean,
anyone can get it, it's you for sure. Yeah.
these
So
and like no, just the PC client from what I heard too, it's very nice because like
mhm.
it's 120 FPS that you can play the game on. It's
Mhm.
like it's gonna be very buttery smooth.
Yeah.
Because like what we're playing it on now is 60 frames,
Yeah.
but the PC clients allows for 120.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm still playing on my phone, so it's any that's I mean I don't play a class obviously that needs it that much, but yeah. So I wanted to talk about kind of the last few things, right? I saw on your stream, you talked to some Nightwalkers
Yeah.
about it. I wanted to hear what your thoughts were about, who you've talked to of the other Cygnus Knights. Where do you think Blaze Wizards were like if a new player, right, was to come and say, what's the best
Oh,
Cygnus Knights, right? A lot of people ask me that. I'm sure they asked you
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What would I guess, how would you rank them um, as far as whatever, however you want to take it?
Yeah. I mean, if you're a new player coming into this game, the no-goes are probably the Thunderbreakers and the Nightwalker. Probably Nightwalker is the worst at
Oh,
the
wow.
current moment. So
Yeah.
number one, like the best class to play would be Dawn Warrior, in my opinion.
Mm.
Like we're not talking about late game here, we're talking about just like if you can actually enjoy the game without
Yeah.
spending or anything. Like if
Yeah.
you're like first time here, Dawn Warrior would be nice.
Mm.
I would say second place would be Blaze Wizard, which is
Yeah.
a bit weird, but
No, dude.
never thought a mage would be up there, not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
Uh third I would say is Wind Archer. Not the best, but still, it still ditches out a lot of damage.
Yeah, it does.
And we got Thunderbreaker. I would say Wind Archer and Thunderbreakers are like same position pretty much. They both don't have a big HP pool.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
the burst is like the early game, the kill mobs are not that good. And the worst, yeah, Nightwalker. I mean, you're using your second job skill to farm. It's like it's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
I'm like, and it does 2 hits and it's
Yeah.
150%. It's like you're not gonna kill anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm a new player and I'm playing that, I'm quitting the game
Yeah.
100%.
No.
It's like, you're not killing anything. You're like, I see this guy with like what unique gear and like a mythic weapon and he's surviving stuff and like look at me, I'm still dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like even
Yeah.
with the life steal, it doesn't feel that good
Mm.
early game for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to agree. Like, and it's, it feels like the game is still in the warrior story kind of mode, right? All warriors are pretty dang good. Um,
Yeah.
like, they just are. Early game, end game, middle game, and then Blaze Wizards. Yeah, I would have to say Blaze Wizards and Wind Archers are really nice. Wind Archer is just feels easier, right? It's kind of easier to pick up.
Yeah.
It's not it's very simplistic, the play style.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
The
sad to
the
say
the
because
mobbing, I would say it's the mobbing for Win Archer got worse though.
yeah,
It's like
it's
it
funny.
got pretty bad.
It,
Yeah.
it 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 it's funny. I have the AF 170. I have a Wood Archer, and I was playing around with it, and this is obviously post fifth job, so it's
Yeah.
much better even compared to pre fifth job. It's not very good at all,
Yeah.
in comparison. And yeah, I was playing around with like their new fifth job skill, and like not using Song of Heaven, and I was actually killing more with that skill than Song of Heaven because just using all the the V1 tornadoes and being able to access the Howling Gales, sorry, the 170 tornado and then the Howling Gale, um, just allowed for more mob killing, map clearing. And it was kind of like your main skill, mobbing skill, was kind of doing nothing. It's kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Because I did have a friend that just started playing a Wind Archer. Because if you know, I did talk a little bit to you like off screen about how I got a little sponsored by Nexon Thailand,
Yep,
and they wanted us, each one of us, to make a video about each class. But it's in Thai, so it doesn't apply to a lot of people here. But
yep.
my new friend that started playing Wind Archer, he felt really bad with the new mobbing skill for level 100. But when you use it by yourself, like when you're manualing it, it feels okay, right? You're smacking the mobs away, and the don't remember what the skill is called, like
Fairy
fairy
something,
something.
right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and he felt really bad when you turn on auto battle and use that skill. That thing does not smack at all.
yeah.
It's so
Uh-huh.
slow.
Yeah,
It's like the mob's gonna kill you. It's like it
yeah.
feels miserable. Like I saw him play trying to get it to like, because he was trying to get it to like I think level 170 for the video he was gonna make.
It's rough.
It felt miserable. And then he was like, he was like, you can't use this, you can't use that,
Yeah.
you need pets, you need that, you need this. And
Uh,
I'm like, that sounds
it
miserable.
does. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's always funny, like, yeah, just leveling before pre fifth job, before even like
Yeah.
170, before you get the hyper is a totally different game. And that's where a lot of people are quitting, right? Or, are getting frustrated just trying to get to 170 or what get to fifth job. It's like, yeah, I totally get it. And that's a good point. Like, um, but yeah, I mean, it's all relative, right? We talk about, the
Yeah.
worst Cygnus Knights is a Nightwalker, still, one of the best, I guess you could say deep bossing
Yeah.
wise, one of the better thieves now. Definitely better than
Yeah.
what they were before. Their
Yeah.
fourth job, their V4 is going to be insane. So
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
relative.
Even I
But
have a night walker in my guild. I think his cap's like around 32, and he's
yeah,
doing 19K in Culvert.
geez, we gotta
Yeah.
I gotta tell Edward that. Edward is slacking. He is slacking. That guy is Jesus Christ, dude.
Snitching.
I'm gonna tag him.
uh,
I'm gonna tag him. I'm gonna timestamp this and just say at Edward for this.
uh, yeah.
No.
I mean, he's insane. I don't know how he does it, to be honest.
Yeah,
Even before pre-remaster, he was doing like 17K.
crazy. We're doing something wrong over here
Crazy.
in NA, I think. I think you guys got all the secrets and we're doing something different, something wrong. But
Well, I mean
yeah,
the because here the covert scores, man, they're very close sometimes.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Blaze Wizards gameplay, anything,
I mean, if you're a new player, if you want to see how the skill works, I do have a video out, for it. It's the before and after,
Yeah,
Steve, you like the skills, but I would really recommend it even for newer players, as I told you, the skill damage very high,
yeah.
very easy to kill. Also, for newer Blaze Wizard, how to change your mode on Blaze Wizard. A lot of people are very confused with this, how to change from lion mode to fox mode.
I
There's
am.
a
Yep,
buff
that's
called,
me.
yeah, there's a buff called fire creation. When you want to summon your lion mode, you just press it, you just use the buff, and then it will come out as lion mode. But if you want the fox mode to come out, you gotta hold down, like your arrow key down, and you press the buff, and then the fox mode will come out.
Hmm. Nice.
That's how you use it. Because some people just leave it on pets and they don't know about it. And
Yep.
and I have like a lot of comments asking me like, why don't I have this skill? Why don't I have that skill? And it's like it's because you never changed the mode.
That's good to know. That's
And
great.
yeah,
Great. Anything else?
and like the right now I can't really find the use for lion mode, not gonna lie, because the skill damage for fox mode it's like a bit higher. Also the hit counts is higher. It's like even for mobbing, I think it does like four targets when it attacks. That's more than enough when you're farming, and you can actually one or two shot the mobs in fox mode, and it's better than in lion mode. Because lion mode, the time to kill is a lot slower. So now I'm
Yep.
struggling to find a use for it, really. But I've been testing stuff out. For now, just leave it on fox mode. Don't change it to lion mode. It's pretty much useless right now, really. The only use I see, no, not even that, because like GHV, you used to be able to use lion mode for the multi-target, and it used
Yeah.
to be very good because like you hit all of four targets.
Yeah.
But then now you can't really change modes in between the boss anymore, and like
Yeah.
in the run anymore, because
Waste too
you're
much
gonna
time.
yeah, you're gonna lose your orbit. It's like your orbit lines on lion. I mean, fox mode does more than lion mode. You're pretty much getting 6 lines compared to 4 lines per hit, so it's like it's a lot to lose pretty much. So for now, stay on fox mode.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to see, obviously, if you don't know Geminis Gaming, I mean, he's an OG. He's a great, he streams, he posts content, he posts free to play stuff. Definitely, I'll put in the description, a lot of his clips, Blaze Wizard clips, his streaming, his page. I want to thank you. I appreciate having you. It's funny. We talked about this in the last time I had you on. That was like middle of last year, like, oh yeah, we'll come back for Cygnus Remaster. It felt like it
wow.
took so much, it took like so much longer.
Oh man,
Oh,
I was waiting for it. I was waiting and waiting, and the
yeah.
time has come.
Yeah, finally,
Oh my
finally,
gosh.
your time to shine. That smile on your face, the excitement, just all the Blaze Wizards out there. I
Yeah,
mean, arguably, top two, top three best mages in the game, one of the best DPS.
yeah,
Seems really fun. Thank you so much for coming on. Um, thank you. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you soon.
yeah. I mean, glad to be here.
All right. All right. Thanks, you guys, for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Let's